surrogacy. If you thought that was a weird segue, it was a weird segue to make. So it says, this is an opinion article from someone named Mary Monahan. Mary, I don't know who that is.
No idea.
No idea. So it says, opinion. Surrogate wombs are becoming new and a new and ghoulish celebrity status symbol. Do you want to take us through this one, Mary?
Good work using the word ghoulish.
Let's do it. I guess.
We use the word ghoulish a lot here.
It's so good.
Because a lot of times when we're talking about stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. It makes me feel ghoulish.
You ghoul.
It's
perfect. And I was like, what adjective should I add?
It's a great word.
It's a great word. It's like when Tim says beclowned.
What he says that?
He says
I don't think I've heard
He
of
says
that.
beclowned.
All right.
It's when you make a fool of yourself.
That's great.
It's fantastic. That's a fantastic word.
And it describes this practice perfectly.
Exactly.
So, entertainers, I've noticed, are having children via surrogate and openly talking about it more often. And this was just on my mind because over the weekend, people started debating about Kim Kardashian's pay rate for her surrogate back in 2019.
Which was like $45,000 for 10 months.
Yeah, which is kind of an extremely low salary for renting out your body as an incubator for
I feel like that's how much
celebrity.
she would pay for like a Met Gala dress.
It's how much she pays for maybe like half a Birkin.
Yeah.
So
do you know what is that a bag?
It's the Hermes Birkin.
Okay.
Some of them are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
we're dudes, so
the
I don't know if you knew what a Birkin bag was.
No, but because I am a dude, I pretended I did.
Yes.
I was like, got it.
It's like, it's not like Birkenstocks.
Yeah.
I'm here to educate you on fashion.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
TMZ reported that she paid her surrogate mother $45,000 in 10 monthly installments of $4,500 each, and she offered her an extra $5,000 for each additional child that may implant. So when you do
just
this,
in case he gets a little
Ghoulish.
rambunctious.
yeah,
Ghoulish.
when you do the IVF procedure, it's up to random chance whether or not you'll have multiple embryos implant.
You get a bonus if that load was strong.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's actually why her two youngest children who were born via surrogate, named Chicago and Psalm, are twins, but born a year apart.
Ghoulish.
I mean, I literally thought, and this is maybe me very naive, I thought the only reason people use surrogates was if there was something where they couldn't have a baby on their own, or the couple can have a baby on their own, so then they would get a surrogate.
Yeah, Kim had her first two kids, normally, but she said that she had complications. She said with her first kid, she had preeclampsia. Then her second, she had a different condition where her uterus got stuck or something.
But now they're not doing it for that reason. Now they're doing it simply for vanity.
If you're doing it for vanity, then
I don't know about Kim in particular, but these other people that we're going to mention as well. And also, I thought I'd mention the surrogate was insured $4,000 if she lost her reproductive organs somehow in the process.
That's it?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take the money, but that's because I need it.
Also, I want to point out that you pointed out that the
agency that matched them with her surrogate earned more combined than the surrogate earned.
How
they
do
got
corporations even
$68,000.
win in this case?
which makes no sense whatsoever, given that most
Nothing
contracts
makes
like that, wouldn't the agency get a percentage?
A percentage.
Of what the
Yes.
In
person
any
gets?
normal
Yes.
industry where you have an agent that matches you with a client, they wouldn't be making more.
I mean, at least tip her out, right?
Yep.
So comedians even do this thing where if they bring a well-known comedian to open for them, or if they bring a headliner where it's like, hey, I'm going to bring Mary to open for me. The club pays openers $400 because it's awful, but Mary has a following. She's my friend.
Yep.
At the end of the week, I'm going to give her another $500 and I'm going to cover her hotel. That's
Thank
just,
you.
I'm just doing that to be cool or respect you. It's like...
Yep.
Kardashian, you could do hey, I know it's only $4,000, but you just brought this miracle into here's an extra $5,000. I want you to be compensated. I want you're literally birthing a baby. You're saying bye to a baby. You're going to see this baby on, the E network when it becomes addicted to some kind of pills in high school.
Ghoulish.
Here's $5,000.
Elon has like all his kids through surrogacy. Now, I always just assumed he made all those moms all those surrogates millionaires.
Yeah.
I literally just assumed that
Sign
he's
this,
they
keep
made
your
a
mouth
pig.
shut.
have a child
So-
for me, and you will never work it a day again in your life.
That's sort of what I.
That's
would-
what-
People were shocked by, compared to Kim Kardashian's worth,
Which is like
how
1.8
little she was
billion.
paying the woman who was carrying her unborn children.
But the problem here is that it's likely through the agency, so it's a contract that's negotiated beforehand.
Yeah.
So
Tip her
there's
out.
no wiggle room, and she's gonna be like, "Well, I don't want to pay more."
So then-
And
anyways.
it's not so much that it's a pay dispute. We're saying that it's kind of ghoulish that she's trying to rent women out as incubators
Yeah,
in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah.
But that's really controversial and spicy. So
The Jamie
I don't
Chung
know.
one was the one that
Jamie
was the
Chung.
most
Yeah, let's
creepy
talk
to
about
me.
Jamie Chung. Too.
Well, before you talk about her, can I just ask you, do you know like what kind of women these agencies are? Like, where are they getting these women? Are they are they preying on like poor women?
Are you
they?
fertile? Are you
I
fertile?
mean,
Like,
technically anyone can do it if you're in good health.
Well,
and
because
fertile.
because it's kind of like a hacky joke about guys who donate sperm. It's just, oh, you're desperate, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
donate sperm. But obviously that is much easier for a guy. Here's
Right.
a magazine, see you in 5 minutes, as opposed to you are going
egg
to
donors and
yeah,
they're
or
they're literally donating their womb.
carrying a baby for
Yeah.
9 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
So Jamie Chung did it for reasons unrelated to her health.
Thank you.
She told in an interview with Today, she explained that she chose surrogacy so that she could continue working through becoming a parent, did not want to lose career opportunities. She said, people probably think, oh, she's so vain. She didn't want to get pregnant.
No, we don't think you're vain. We think you're ghoulish. Read the article.
Ghoulish!
Read the article.
And it's much more complicated than that. For me personally, I'll leave it at this. I worked my ass off my entire life to get where I am. I don't want to lose opportunities. I don't want to be resentful. I was terrified of becoming pregnant. I was terrified of putting my life on hold for 2+ years. In my industry, it feels like you're easily forgotten if you don't work within the next month of your last job. Things are so quickly paced in what we do.
So the kid is less important than her work.
Exactly.
That
And
is
it's like,
ghoulish.
You shouldn't have
I
a
don't
kid
want to
then.
put my life on hold. But like pregnancy isn't the only thing about becoming a parent that may put your life on hold.
Also,
you
if-
actually have to raise the child after the child is born.
Yeah, which I assume she's not doing well. If you find yourself saying something like, I'm not going to birth my own child because the industry might forget about me, and then you don't pause, cue swelling music, oh my God, I'm a monster, what have I become? And then you change your mind and quit acting forever, you're a ghoul.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ghoul.
Then we also have the case of the fashion designer Peter Dundas and his partner Evangelo Bouzis, I believe.
I tried to pronounce it. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, they were in an interview with The Times back in March talking about their surrogacy experience. They said about finding their ideal egg donor, that's who you're really having a baby with. That's the genes. So we were super picky. Our casting went on for a year.
Hollywood celebrities,
weird.
they're just like us.
And it's like,
I complain about that all the time. I said there's nothing creepier
They also
than
mentioned
than
that-
things that say they're just like us.
Yeah, they're just like us.
They go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get donuts. They go and get coffee.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and then they take the donuts and coffee to
Their surrogacy
eugenics.
clinic.
Yeah.
They go bring their eugenics to children
You
donuts and coffee.
Psychos. Jeez.
they also
Totally
mentioned
normal.
that Kim offered to give them her surrogate, as a reference. It's
Ugh.
I said they mentioned it in the same casual tone one would use discussing recommendations of dentists or hairdressers.
Right, exactly.
It's so creepy.
Go throw a baby in that used up body.
So
Ghoulish, ghoulish,
Ghoulish,
ghoulish, ghoulish. They're ghoulish.
I finally found another podcast I can chant on.
Yes.
That's how I know we're gonna be
Chanting.
friends. By the
Yes.
way, I'm like, this is my favorite thing to do is chant. It's the pro wrestling fan in
Yeah.
that. I'll always chant.
Oh God, we were meant to have him on the show.
Oh, my bud.
I love
I just
this.
trained with Dustin Rhodes, and like I
Oh.
did my first wrestling match. Yeah, we have so much to talk about.
Cody Rhodes is back in the
Dude,
WWE.
Cody is crushing it. Crushing it.
did like a whole pay-per-view of the torn pec.
It was incredible.
crazy.
I love
looking.
watching this bromance.
It was incredible.
blood
By the way,
right now.
welcome to like all of my stand-up shows where whenever I like talk about sex and dating, all these gorgeous girls, they're cheering and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then after the show, it's only they all walk by me and they're like, good show, and then it's their boyfriends who want to talk about, oh, how long you think CM Punk's gonna be out for? And I'm like, come on, I don't want to talk to you. But
Man, that Tony Khan is kind of nuts, huh?
Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, sorry.
All right, continue. Ghoulish.
Yeah. Basically, my take on this is that if you're postponing pregnancy or just swearing it off altogether to appease the industry, the entertainment industry, you're adapting to a culture that is inherently
a bad
backwards,
industry.
and you're enabling how they blacklist people for prioritizing personal duties, like
100%.
growing a family.
And
Thank you.
here's something else. You don't have to have kids, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people listening to this who have chose to be childless. You know, like I was in a rough marriage when I probably was the age where I would have had a kid. And I think about it now where it's like, I would want to have kids for sure. And, you know, there was a long time I didn't even think I would be a good dad because people get stigmatized if you don't have kids. So I guess, I'm just a screw up artist, whatever. And then I started volunteering and teaching kids jujitsu, and all these parents were like, why don't you have kids? My kids love you. And I was like, damn it. I would be a great dad. And I think about it. But then I go, you know what? I've thought about this. If I'm going to be a touring stand-up comedian, if I'm not with a partner who I know this is the love of my life, this is who I'm staying with, if I'm going to be traveling all over the place, I would rather focus on that, then get successful enough where maybe I do a charity for children. Maybe I teach, I have this dream to set up something where I can teach jujitsu to kids with like depression or anxiety or whatever. And then I still get to give back. But this idea that you're so self-centered that it's like, no, it has to be my genes and it has to come from us doing it. And like, it's like, bro, if you are going to donate yourself out because you care more about acting, you're allowed to care more about acting. But then don't have a kid and ruin this little spite baby's life. And instead just do something good, donate money to children's charities or something like that.
We've talked about this before, where like a lot of Hollywood, it's they get angry in their older years. They're like, I worked all through my 20s, and then they don't realize that by not settling down or having a family, then they're depressed. So now they want to be able to have their cake and eat it too, without taking any of the side effects that come from actually giving birth. And you talked about how it is emotionally damaging to not. Jamie Chung mentions postpartum depression, and I asked you, I'm like, how can you have postpartum depression if you didn't actually give birth?
No, she's still, even after doing all that, now she's like, I still have it.
She's like,
she's
3 years
saying
later.
that even though someone else gave birth to her children, she is experiencing postpartum depression. And so-called experts say that you can experience postpartum depression 3 years out from giving birth.
I love how no one interviewed the poor woman who actually birthed this child, who is probably like, if anything, I would have postpartum depression knowing I gave my child to a ghoul. Because
everyone is just ignoring the fact that pregnancy is when you first bond with your child.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so none of those chemicals that come from the actual
and just the biological benefits that you get. Like,
no, this lady's just sad because she's a bad person, and she's like, it's probably postpartum.
Right. You're going to be depressed 3 years after you have your kids and call it postpartum depression. Like, you're just depressed because your situation is
because you're a monster.
Inherently
ghoulish. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Ghoulish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these people also think of children as products,
props,
etc. Like accessories to their public outings.
It's like when Eddie Guerrero tried to take Rey Mysterio Jr.'s son away from him. Am I right, fella?
It was a very, very sad situation. That match could have been bad. It's
I'm sorry.
And now Dominic is wrestling anyways.
Right.
So anything
Who
can
knows
happen.
if he's just acting out from the childhood trauma? We don't know, everybody. But we're here to find out.
And they wrestled with Jake Paul, or was it Logan Paul? Logan Paul at WrestleMania this year.
Jake Paul is the one who went off on
They
Biden
did?
yesterday.
I don't watch much wrestling these days, but I still faithfully listen to many wrestling podcasts. That's where I get most of my information. Most of the show is actually so bad it's unwatchable.
No,
but
the AEW pay-per-views are solid, but they're so long.
They're very long.
And then I'll watch like the matches that I hear are good.
When I saw CM Punk come on TV with like a pro-life or a pro-choice T-shirt, I was like, I'm out. I can't do this shit.
Yeah, I assumed a lot of my friends weren't going to be psyched about that.
Yeah, I was like, just keep it off the show, dude.
Right.
Like you can be weird and have your weird views and be weird to people on Twitter, but Tony Khan's weird, so it makes perfect sense.
does.
We're getting off topic again.
That was my fault.
Later, somebody will be like, do you believe you could somehow weave pro wrestling into a conversation about surrogacy and and the problems with raising a family that you did not give birth to? Watch them try to do that.
We did
on
it,
this
baby.
episode of Pop Culture Crisis.
Cue the lost music.
Yes.
I don't mean to steer this conversation into being like callous to people who don't know how to balance their careers and
I don't
like
think
their
you were.
desire to have
Boom!
family.
An actual one
Thank
this
you for
time.
real
Wow.
crisis
We
party.
actually, you got to, you have to reach a certain. So there it is. You get more
Yay.
money. More money.
Yay.
Yay. Why are the guns weirdly aggressive today?
They are.
They're like angry.
It does feel like they're mad at Jamie.
Yeah.
they're like going extra hard.
They're-
Well,
like-
that's because my people run the banks.
Yeah.
So they're just firing. Good morning.
This is getting too real.
That is a spicy take right there. That
There
is
we
a
go.
very spicy take. Holy
I can
crap.
make those jokes because of my last name. I can make Hawaiian jokes and Jew jokes, or the things I am. Yeah, no, I don't think you're being callous at all. And that was actually one of the reasons that I kind of told my like personal thing about not having kids, because it's like it would be callous if you were going after someone for not being able to have kids, or if you were going after, but like, no, man, it is a big responsibility and you shouldn't use kids. And I think you're thinking about the kids, and it's like, and the way the surrogates are being treated, and I actually think it's a compassionate. I've never even heard this story. I don't think it's callous at all.
I just see these elites thinking of middle class women as their cattle and incubators.
100%.
Just products
Just
that
think
they
of
can
like
buy.
when they go to the Met Gala and all the celebrities are maskless and all
It's the same
all
thing,
the poor
yeah.
employees are stuck with their masks on.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, super chats.
Yes. Unavailable ID name says, we need a watch party for Mary's moviecation. We have been in talks about doing some kind of watch party. We don't know how we're going to arrange that.
We would have to do it probably on the website because
Yeah.
of copyright law.
Yeah.
right,
I know.
right.
Okay, maybe somebody can. I've had this mentioned to me several times, and I've never been able to confirm whether this is true. If you watch Amazon Prime stuff on Twitch, you can do that as a watch party and like a comment, as like a review thing, because Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Oh.
Or I don't know if that's 100% true. Somebody
is,
told
yeah.
me it seems like one of those things that you have that friend who just says stuff with a lot of
No,
confidence.
it's true.
and then like, you never
Yeah.
know if they're actually telling you the truth or not. They're like, deer are
Yeah, and you're like, I don't even know if Amazon is owned by. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, humans can give birth to deer. Yeah, no. Did you ever hear this story
You're like,
about?
oh well, I mean, I don't want to sound
He's-
stupid and disagree with him.
He sounds like he knows what he's talking
He's
about.
very loud.
That's all the time when you're talking, Brad. I just listen and believe.
Yeah. I'm a believer.
I listen and believe. To me,
Yeah.
that is so.
It's a dangerous place.
That's a very dangerous
be in,
place to
yeah.
be, given that we're in the year 2022 and Amber Heard just lost that whole trial. We don't know where things could go from here.
Clint Torres said, ooh, love violence set to great music, such as in Atomic Blonde when a guy gets beaten to death with a boombox to 99 red balloons.
Perfect.
This is a great example.
Now the real question is it the Goldfinger version or the other version, like the punk the American version?
I forgot. I remember I was disappointed by that movie, but liked that scene.
All right.
Z Torrance said, Jamie, I'm right there with you, man. Turn the break up into a breakthrough, my guy.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. No, thank you. And that is actually what I've been doing. Like, when you get out of a relationship and a month later it's the most successful you've been in 10 years, you have to go, okay, that probably wasn't the healthiest relationship then. Like, that's actually what happened.
Then they get annoyed that you're doing well.
Oh, she tried to get back with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Don't fall for that trap.
I can't. I
Another-
was so like thrown out to no.
Another good example of I don't know if anybody's seen John Wick, but there's in the first John Wick there's a song called "Think" by Kaleida, and it's like it hits this really like funny like high note right when he just jabs a knife under this dude's gullet.
Oh yeah, in the
it's great.
bathroom scene,
Yeah,
in the bathhouse.
I was like, if you believed Hollywood, literally every other business is a Russian bathhouse. What's up with that? Like, I've been to New York plenty of times. I've never been invited to a Russian bathhouse.
Side note, one of my favorite martial arts movies that is very underrated is Showdown in Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, and Dolph Lundgren, and they're mismatched cops where he's like the bad boy and Dolph's the very like straight-laced. Tia Carrera gets naked in it.
Oh, that's amazing. Let's go watch Wayne's World when we're done here.
At one point, right before I will not say the word, but Dolph and Tia Carrera hook up. Brandon Lee sees them. Then ninjas attack the house, and Brandon Lee looks at Dolph before they go out to fight ninjas and goes, "Hey, champ, I just want you to know if we die, you have the biggest D word I've ever seen."
Oh my God.
And then they go out and kill ninjas. It is the best. Anyway,
This can't be real. I have to see this now.
It's the best. That should be our first martial arts movie watch party.
Oh my God.
And there is a fight in a bathhouse where they're all like they're essentially just fighting Chinese mob, all wearing like the little like sarongs in a bathhouse.
Incredible.
And they kill. Yeah, that's right. There's a big sumo wrestler guy, and the way he kills him is he puts the hose in his mouth and then he blows up. It's the best. Showdown in Little
Dude,
Tokyo, everybody.
we have to watch this. Dolph Lundgren's great. You know, he's like a chemical engineer.
No.
He got like a.
Is this an example of you saying something with confidence that I'm believing?
Look it up. Go look up.
No, I believe
on
you.
Wikipedia. I don't know if it's a chemical engineer. He's got like a degree in engineering, like in mechanical engineering or
Wild.
something like that, and just decided to become an actor instead because he's got a big brain.
That rules.
If he dies, he dies.
I love it.
Clint Torres said, "I thought Mary said Merkin rather than Birkin. I spit some of my whiskey out."
Yep.
I like that you're drinking whiskey at.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what this show is. Like some people, like we have very loyal fans who are like, look, it's not always easy, but sometimes you just gotta have a glass of whiskey to get through the show.
When I do when I do Tim's podcast, I drink some of the good whiskey, and
There's a lot of it.
Yep, and I was sort of like, do I do this now for this one? But I'm glad. I'm just jacked on coffee right now. Screaming about Showdown in Little Tokyo.
1,000-Foot Deep End said, Mary inviting Jamie on the show, thus facilitating the geek out sesh between him and Brett about TV show music scores, has earned her some money for her baking fund.
Yes.
Also, Jamie needs another crisis party.
I think that came
Let's
in
make it
before
happen.
the crisis party happened. So technically,
Let's do another one!
Do another one.
Yes.
Mary definitely gets props for this.
St. Miles said, Monster Mom.
I don't know what that means. Is that
just
is
that
like they're monsters?
some
they're
of these
ghouls?
women are
Oh,
ghoulish
monsters. Yes, ghoulish moms
Yeah.
is what they are. Monster mom ghouls.
Why can none of my friends set me up with like a girl who's not a monster, but all of them can set me up with just like nerdy dudes I'm going to be friends with?
Weird how that works, right?
Yeah, I get
Oops.
it. No. I love it. I'll still take it.
Free market wins every time. It's the problem here.
It's the invisible hand.
The Tuttle twins would have something to say about this.
Oh my god.
Sosi Havid said, when a culture loses its grip on family, faith, and relationships and loyalty, then perversion
Thank
and ghoulish
you.
Yes.
behavior is always expected and natural.
That was
I
actually
agree.
a quote from Showdown in Little Tokyo.
I'm like, I have to
wouldn't
find
expect
out
it, but it's true.
It's just in there in the middle of nowhere.
if it's on streaming. I am like after work, we might be late tomorrow because I should be upstairs like editing
No,
the show.
we should save it so we can watch it
And
together,
then,
buddy.
What's it called?
Showdown in Little Tokyo. I wonder what it has on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
1991, Dolph Lundgren. It is available for $2.99 on Prime Video.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Well worth.
Charge
Yes.
it. It's gonna.
We
we're
will
gonna
watch
write
it on Twitch if that thing is true.
Dude, we should review it for the. We should
Yes.
just review it for do a review for the podcast.
Yes.
We can write it off.
I'm back in
We
two.
can.
I'm back in 2 weeks. I have. I have a show in Dallas. A couple at House of Comedy this week, and then I'm back. Dallas, Plano, House of Comedy, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
And you'll also shout it out at the end too.
No, I know, but I was just gonna say, I'm like, when am I back? Because please wait for me.
Okay.
Yeah, this
I will
week,
wait.
and then I'm back
we
next
will watch
week.
it.
Yeah.
We will watch it. All right.
Brett will be on the edge of his seat.
Oh,
Just waiting.
I'm so excited.
James Eaton said, Jamie, you were great. Glad you stuck around.
Oh, bud, thanks.
Clint Torres said, Clint Torres is in fact my whiskey-fueled alter ego. The women love him more, especially when his name is spoken faster.
That's what I need. I need a whiskey fueled ego.
Or
Alter
like-
ego.
Alter ego.
Alter
coffee-fueled alter ego?
Alter
I
ego.
guess.
Maybe?
All
I
right.
don't know. I've just does that work, ladies listening? I've just been talking about pro wrestling.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.